Hey guys, recently I went to Costco to grab a hot dog and there was this bidet that caught my eye. I did a quick Google to see if it was something I could do without paying a plumber. I figure if I could assemble IKEA furniture, a bidet shouldn't be that hard. It was on sale for $479 Canadian with the $120 discount. I've seen cheaper ones, but I need warm water, a seat warmer, air dryer, and a wireless remote. This washlet has all the features you'd want in a modern day bidet. Anyways, I want to preface this video by saying I'm not a certified plumbing professional, so I'm not responsible for flooding your home. Please consult with a plumber for expert advice and installation. However, if you want to see a DIY video of someone install a bidet for entertainment purposes, then this is fine. So the toilet in my home is skirted, meaning the water input line is concealed and you don't have access to it. I needed to buy a different T-valve to split the water from the wall instead. The included T-valve isn't designed for non-skirted toilets. My home has 3/8-inch connections, but the water connection to the Toto Washlet is half-inch. Luckily, this T-valve has an adapter included. I'll leave a link to the items mentioned here in the description of this video if you need to pick one up. So here is a really quick unboxing to show you the contents of it. So this is the bidet itself with the various attachments. You have the power, of course, that you need to plug into an outlet. And here is the half-inch connection for water. And what else is included? It does come with a wireless remote and it does have a bracket. So if you want to mount it on the wall, you can with it as well. And here is the bracket that you install on the toilet that will allow the bidet to latch on. Here is a T-valve that split the water. I won't be using this because it's not compatible with my toilet. And here are various mounting screws and bolts that you need to for installing the bracket. Actually don't need this because I'm going to use the existing ones that are already on the toilet. So as I was saying about the T-valve, this is the one that is included. However, it does not fit my skirted toilet. Instead, I had to buy one of these other ones here. I got this from Amazon for about $20 or $25, I believe. Here is the part number. So anytime you have fittings that are going to be metal on metal, I prefer to put on some Teflon tape. Because the washlet uses a hose attachment that is half-inch, you need to use an adapter that will convert the 3/8 into a half-inch, which is included with this adapter, by the way. And all you really need to do is put on some Teflon tape and then screw on this adapter here that will allow you to screw on the hose. So I'll do a really quick demo. So one end of it is the hose that goes to the bidet, and we're gonna just attach this half-inch adapter here, as you could see. And then once you have it attached, you can just screw on the hose attachment from the bidet. To start off with the installation, we need to take off the old seat. So usually there's a couple of screws here that you would need to unscrew. So I'm just going to use a screwdriver here. So one thing I did notice was that as I was turning the screw, it wasn't doing anything because the nut, I guess, on the bottom was also turning with the screw. So I had to use some pliers to hold it down from spinning. And then I was able to use the screwdriver. So just to give you an example of what it looked like, I already took it off, but I wanted to show you what was happening. So I screwed it in place without this plastic thing and being in the way. But as you can see, as I turn the screw, it's also turning the bottom nut piece there, which basically won't do anything. It won't be unscrewing. So you need to hold that bottom piece down somehow. And I used a pair of pliers just to clamp it a bit. And then I was able to turn the screw without any issues. But once I did that, it came out pretty easy. So just in case you have screws like this where it's kind of like it's not doing anything, then you're probably just spinning in place. After removing the old seat, we're going to install this bracket here. And I actually was able to use the existing screw bolts that were already in there, so I didn't have to use the included ones. But it does come with these adjustable sliding metal pieces where you then put the screws in, and this lets you align the seat properly to the toilet. So basically, I kind of eyeballed it and then I screwed it in place. You don't want to screw it in place too, tight yet. Just want to put it in lightly, and then you want to check it out if it is aligned with the seat. Once you have the bracket where you want it, you can just secure it snug to the toilet. So now I am going to snap the toilet seat or the bidet seat into the bracket here, and we'll see how it lines up. And you want the edge of the bidet to line up with the lip of your toilet, so it's a little bit too far forward, so I'm just going to have to take it off and adjust it a little bit more. And here it is where it's perfectly lined up with the lip of the toilet. So I think it's a perfect fit. So my toilet has an elongated bowl, so I needed an elongated bidet. If you have a round toilet bowl, you'll need a round bidet. Before we start messing around with the water lines, I definitely advise that you shut off the main water source. So here it is. I'm just gonna um, turn off the cold water, and then this way, if I do anything wrong, it won't just spray water everywhere. So there's also another shut off valve near the toilet, so you want to turn that as well, and then flush the toilet so that the bowl is empty. So sometimes you have to do it a couple of times. Now with all the water shut off, we can remove the hose from the toilet. So I use a spanner wrench here and just loosen it up. So with the hose detached, we can put our adapter or T-valve in the middle to splice the water, to split the water up to go into the tank as well as the bidet. So here is the T-valve that I bought. We're not going to use the included one because it doesn't fit my toilet, but usually with a skirted toilet, you have to buy these type of adapters. So I'm just going to go into details about the adapter here. So this is the Amazon page that I got it from. I'll leave a link in the description, and you can see it's for about $25. And I got the one that has the 1/2 inch adapter that allows you to plug up a Toto Washlet to it. So there is a little video that we can watch here. So essentially you turn off the shutoff valve, attach the adapter, and then tighten it with the wrench. And then you can basically attach the one that comes from the toilet and then tighten it and use the 1/2 inch adapter if you're using a Toto. And finally, you attach the hose that comes from the bidet. So I'm going to do it for my install right now. So I'm going to attach the hose that comes from the toilet to the top of the T-valve here. And I'm going to cut away because it's hard to do it with a camera. And then finally, we put on the hose that comes from the bidet, and you just have to tighten it with your hand. You don't need to use any tools or anything like that. Just hand tightening is fine. So let's take a look here. So it is installed, and I turn on the water now. And then what I'm going to show you is how I routed the power cable. So it goes up and over the tank. It's not pretty, but I don't have any room underneath to slide the power. So I'm going to do that for now until I find a way, and then I'll tidy it up. And you can see power running to it. So it seems like it's working. I'm usually pretty paranoid about like water leaking. So I have some of these YoLink water leak sensors that I bought off Amazon as well, and they're able to detect if if water is leaking. It will send you an alert or a push notification. It works. It basically the hub connects to your Wi-Fi, and then these little water leak sensors you could put throughout the house. And I have one near my aquarium, my dryer and washer and dryer, the toilet, the sink, etc. Anywhere where potentially a water can leak, you can put one of these guys. So here I am putting one right underneath the valve here. So if some water does drop down, I would get a notification. I'm going to run through a really quick demo of the remote. So that's the stop, and this is the button that will start the bidet. Essentially a wand will stick out and then it start firing water on your butt. And the plus and minus is the intensity. So usually I like it at around half. And then these arrows up and down are adjusting the forward and back. So that goes forward, and then over here that goes back. And then these buttons, this one is pulsating where you want bursts of water, and this is oscillating where it goes up and down. And then you hit the stop button. And this one here is the feminine wash. It kind of goes more in the frontal area. And then this button here is the air dryer. And then the button next to it is the presets. You can have 4 presets, 1, 2, 3, and 4. On the back of the remote, there are a few more buttons here. I'll just cover the basic ones here. So there's the water temperature. There's essentially 3 settings, either off, so it's kind of cold water. Then you have low, medium, high. And then there is a button for the air temperature. Again, it's either off, low, medium, high. And then there's the button for the seat temperature. And it's either off, low, medium, or high. And then these buttons here are eco mode and then timer. The manual's pretty good at going over the functions of this, but these are the main functions that I use on the remote. So that's why I wanted to show you. My first interaction with a bidet was over 10 years ago while traveling in Japan. It was eye-opening how much better it felt to have a clean derriere. And since then, I never thought about a bidet until people were hoarding toilet paper during the pandemic. After using the Toto Washlet for a few weeks now, it feels a lot better and I use a lot less toilet paper. I think the concept of a bidet is a bit jarring for most people, but I like to use the analogy. Do you want to clean up peanut butter off with a dry paper towel or do you want to hose it off with warm water? So my little trip to Costco to grab a hot dog led me to installing a bidet. Anyways, I hope you found the video useful. Have a nice day and don't forget to flush.